Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, this beautiful Saturday, on the first episode of Entebbe Today, where we are discussing current affairs, matters Entebbe, raising voices to see that Entebbe becomes more sounding, the first colonial capital of the country, the international gateway to Uganda. And we want to see that all that is in the area is what people deserve. Of course, the first episode, we are starting this from the political angle. We are hosting the man who hosts the highest political bar of the area, and that is the Honorable Member of Parliament, Michael Kakembo Mbwa Tekamwa, who is starting this show. I want to quickly run through the panel and the people who are going to be making this conversation more interesting, more so, directional to what the intended purpose is. On my immediate right is the man himself, Michael Kakembo Mbwa Tekamwa, the Honorable Member of Parliament representing Entebbe Municipality. On the other side extreme, I also have my other fellow journalist. She is a writer with Uganda Radio Network, Joan Akello. You have to look direct into the camera and welcome the viewers.
Hello, good morning, viewers, and good morning, Ivan.
Yeah, Joan Akello, you are right into the camera.
Good morning, Ivan. Good morning, Honorable Kakembo.
Well, I want to quickly start with the Honorable Kakembo Michael Mbwa Tekamwa. When you're rallying for votes, you said you want to lead Entebbe as a municipality that has to do away with the political differences, and you want to see developments fronted for that cause. How far have you gone with this?
Well, it is, I think, about 7 or 8 months in office, and as I promised my people in Entebbe that I'm a leader with a difference. We want to see unity amongst all of us, and that's what people don't understand, that at my level I am a leader of everybody. I'm the father of Entebbe, belonging to National Unity Platform, but of course I am the representative of the DPs and the FDCs and the NRM, because I defeated them. Once you win an election, you become a leader of everybody. It is civic, Yes. So for those who don't understand that.
Honorable Member of Parliament, how often do you engage the people you contested with to discuss matters development in Entebbe Municipality?
I have tried, of course, to interface with a few of them. Of course, my senior Rose Tumusime, we have interacted big time. She always comes to my home and we talk. We share experience, despite the fact that we have issues of, last elections of 2016, but we still move on well. She's my sister, and we have grown up in Entebbe together. Entebbe is ours. So putting aside the political differences, we need to move as one family if you have to develop Entebbe. Yes.
Joan Akello, you have the honorable at your table.
I am very interested in that bit. Have you engaged the members of your former party, DP, like Mr. Kale Michael, who contested with you in the race? Because I know you had a number of people, including Mr. Shaka of NRM. How far have you gone with engaging these other people you contested with?
On personal levels, we have interacted with so many from DP, because that's a party where I came from, and many of them voted for me, to be very honest. Many of them voted for me. But of course, the leaders are still, they're having some issues. Of course, they lost the space. Now they are fighting to regain their space. So they find it very clear to discuss with the Member of Parliament. My hands are open. I always invite them to come, but to my disappointment, many of them turned them down, including the leadership, the DP executive. But on a personal level, we interact, we meet.
Are you trying to tell us that this has created for you a political distance between your former party, which is the Democratic Party, and the National Unity Platform, where you are currently under?
Well, on the front line of the struggle, I believe that we are on the same front line, and we need them as they need us, because we need to fight together if we are to achieve our goal. But on the political line, I'm now a National Unity Platform. I'm no longer DP, and people should understand it.
Do you differ ideologically when it comes to fronting interests of the public? Do you differ, or you think the cause is the same?
The cause is the same. And when you look at DP, of course, the ideology is more or less like the National Unity Platform. So National Unity Platform is the new DP, the rebrand of DP, because it is the party for the most vulnerable, those that are most marginalized, the Ugandans that have been suffering. And those are the issues the Democratic Party used to have. Social Democrats, we used to be in the middle of that. We are neither right nor to left.
Now, what about NRM? I'm interested in your engagements with these contestants with the race.
NRM, of course, it was Shaka who was the flag bearer. I have taken long to be very honest, but Rose Tumusime is an NRM daughter.
But do they even invite you on their functions? I've
They
seen
do,
severally.
yes. They do invite.
And why haven't you appeared? Because
And
I have covered
them.
their functions, but you've never
Well,
been there.
It depends on my schedule sometimes. You know, when I was having my celebration here, I invited all of them, and I'm happy that they came. And many have invited me, and I've gone there whenever I find time.
Honorable.
But being a member of parliament, of course, we have a very busy schedule. Sometimes I'm invited when I'm also needed in parliament. So I have to choose the priority now.
Honorable, let's come back to the legislation task that you were given by the people of Entebbe. You were close to a year when you swore in as a member of parliament to represent the people of Entebbe. What have you so far put on floor of parliament in regards to your people or your area, your jurisdiction, Entebbe?
Oh, well, in parliament we fought as a team, of course, but as Entebbe, of course, right now Entebbe Grade B has an oxygen plant, and I'm proud that it's the voice from Kakembo. Remember when I joined the parliament, in the first week, I was appointed on the COVID committee. So it traversed Uganda in 2 weeks. We did our report and we gave our recommendations. So in among the recommendation, we gave recommendation, Entebbe Grade B being gazetted for COVID treatment in the whole country. It deserves an oxygen plant because people die of COVID because they don't have oxygen. And it was very, very unfair if we don't have it in Entebbe to find our people fighting for oxygen cylinders in the corridors of Grade B Hospital. We advocated for that. We talked with, of course, people concerned, the minister and the permanent secretary, and they were in agreement. And there we are. Now we have an oxygen plant. When we had issues in Chigungu, the fire outbreak, you have seen people applying for those relief and they take even a month before they arrive. But for my case, I tabled it on floor of parliament that I have a problem in Entebbe. I wrote a letter to the Minister of Disaster Preparedness. I wrote a letter to the Prime Minister. And I also wrote a letter to the Speaker of Parliament and my leader of opposition. I engaged the 3 top leaders in this struggle. And I tell you, in only one day, the next day, we had received the relief. And many others, of course. We have tabled a motion on local government revenue collection that has been going on the consolidated account, which we feel is not proper. It's a policy that came from the Ministry of Finance, but we don't understand its genesis. It's not fair for somebody who has collected his money, taxes to help his people, and the money goes to the central government, and then it goes to the central government to beg for the same money. We feel it demotivates our tax collectors in Entebbe, and we want that one. And many others, if I'm to speak, of course, for those who have been watching TVs and radios, they can bear with me witness. They have seen me. Parliament is live. It is live. So they have seen how I've been active. I wouldn't blow my own trumpet, but Entebbe and Ugandans, of course, they can rate us in Uganda, the outspoken members of parliament. Out of the 529, how many are we? I thank God.
Now, Honorable, when you talk about the oxygen plant for Grade B, the oxygen plant was installed in December 2020. And January or February 2021, it was already working. Maybe in the second wave, the problem was inadequate cylinders.
Yeah.
So I think your advocacy on an oxygen plant was...
The oxygen plant was there, yes, but its production, it was giving us 1, 2 cylinders or 3 cylinders. They changed the machines. Now we are producing over 60. It used to be producing for only Grade B, and it was not even enough yet. Now we produce over 60. That means we produce more than enough for Grade B, and including the medical clinics, medical centers around Entebbe. They no longer go to Kampala to get the cylinder, the oxygen. They pick it from Entebbe.
Okay, Honorable Michael Kakembo, we have seen you on several occasions coming out to raise a voice, criticize on certain things that you call irregularities. That's the common word you use. For example, in the recent, you attacked, those who had, put a fence in Kitubulu Forest. And in your submission to the press, you said there is something wrong at a local government level, at a municipal level. Am I being right on that? Right. And we want you to understand, what is your working relationship as a member of parliament with the municipal council that you think wrong things go through?
Well, when you talk about working relationship, as leaders, we must be having a good working relationship. Of course, if you're doing the good things. But most of our people don't seem to understand the importance of that forest. It was a blessing in this case that we received a very strong, heavy, rainfall that destroyed so many properties.
Just weeks after
in Entebbe.
Yes.
And I was telling them, these are the reason why we are fighting to save this forest. Because that forest serves as the windbreaker. It stops the strong wind from the lake. Entebbe is located at the shore. It's a peninsula. So we always receive those very, very strong wind from the lake, and they destroy property, including lives. So those forests you see, including botanical gardens and the Kitubulu Forest, it's the windbreaker. It's the ice switch for Entebbe. Without it, you may find most of our property and life will be lost in such kind of heavy winds from the lake.
Away from the
so
forest.
For those who don't understand
but what do you think is wrong? Is it that where it is hosted, people don't want it? Is it the local government? What is the problem?
Ignorance. People don't understand the importance of that forest. Others think it is a waste land. Why are you wasting land? You want to build houses. We told them, no, look, this forest has issues. One, it protects our environment. Two, it's a windbreaker for Entebbe. Those winds that come from the lake, they are very dangerous. That lake gives us so many things. I don't want to explain the importance of a forest. Many of you know. But some people don't seem to understand. Others prefer money.
From a journalistic point of view, we were with you on the forest when National Forest Authority was saying they do not know about the encroacher. But from our findings, we know that there is a man, someone, if I recall the name properly, is it Sega or something like that, who owned the land. He has a lease where there is a petrol station, Shell petrol station, Semwanga. And behind there, he has a lease going up to 2024, given by National Forest Authority. And in their submission, they said they do not have any idea of who could be behind that forest. The same thing with the municipal council. And we know when a lease has been given to someone, a copy of a document has to be submitted to the municipal council. Who was fooling who and who was playing the cards behind there? But we will discuss this shortly after we're shooting for a short commercial break, and we're returning with this. The honorary member of parliament will now tell us when he saw in to become so honest, speaking to the people of Entebbe, he will be in a position to respond to that shortly after this. Imagine if leadership and development was a uniting factor for people towards a certain achievement. When people set aside their political differences and affront a cause that will benefit everyone.
What does Omutu Wawansi see as development in Entebbe?
We have the only international airport in this area.
There is no way we can underlook issues of health.
Buza meya achegana. Tauni kiraka achegana.
Who is the problem now?
That is politics.
Without tuina cha kulia necha tachigenda kubawo.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves. Well, thank you for staying with us. We are back. Before the break, we were discussing matters of the Kitubulu Forest. I want to again quickly run through the panel. I still have the honorary member of Entebbe Municipality, Michael Kakembo. On my other side, I also have a journalist colleague, that's Joan Akello from the Uganda Radio Network. And before, honorable, we went for the break, we were discussing the Kitubulu Forest. When we were, they are trying to follow up on the matter, we are with you. But just for matters correction, someone called Sn1 has a lease given to him by National Forest Authority running from 1998 to 2028. But in the interaction we had, the Municipal Council, the National Forest Authority said they do not have any idea. We wanted to ask you, as you saw in, to tell the truth to the people of Entebbe, who is playing cards in that game?
You see, Ugandans are very funny. Now, if you ask my brother, Senkungu, where we have now the petrol station, Shell petrol station. Who sold that piece of land to the petrol station? Is it Shell company, something like that?
Yeah, that's a Shell petrol
Yes,
station.
because that was the land that was given to him. When you are given a lease, they give you specifications. They will tell you what you are going to use in that land. Don't do any other thing. It was given to him because it was near the road, and there wouldn't be so much, of course, environmental degradation. You know, students, these are schools. School is like a cattle kraal. It destroys the environment. We would allow it outside the forest. Now the piece was sold off. Now Senkungu is going deep in the forest.
Who sold the land or who leased the land to Shell petrol station?
That's
that
the
an
question.
agreement was entered for him to be given another space of land behind that same portion.
Of course,
That is the question.
behind those portions, it means, now Senkungu is area lease. He wanted to have a school in the first place. Having a school, that means what? Cutting down trees, giving space for the buildings, of course. But deep where Senkungu is right now, it's full of trees, which trees we cannot allow to be, sold to anybody. The problem we have with Ugandans is many of them are so desperate to acquire land. They don't bother to go deep into the due diligence to understand. Because NFA does not own that forest. It is owning it in trust of us. Most of those trees you see in in Kitubulu, were planted by us, not even NFA. Civil society in Entebbe, the Red Cross, the Rotary Club, many groups, by the way, they planted that forest. That means that forest has ownership. And those are the people of Entebbe. If you have to do due diligence,
the landlord is
you will
NFA.
understand. NFA is just a custodian, not even the landlord. You should consult us. I'm telling you, it is managing that forest in trust of us, the public. You don't
But why
just
did it
sell
have
off.
to say they do not have any information
That's why
of
you have,
anyone encroaching on the
we
land?
have agencies that come in, of course, the Environmental Protection Unit. They have to provide an environmental impact report, of course. And they give you strictly, you're going to do A, B, C, D. If it is ecotourism, they are even supposed to supervise it. They will tell the type of material you're going to use in the same forest because they want to balance the two. Not to destroy our environment, don't cut down our trees, but you can still continue to do your business within the forest. Now imagine a school. Yes, they had given them a lease outside the forest, at the border of the forest, near the road, where there is Shell petrol station. They would have gone back again to sit and agree. If you have sold off or you have leased off the plot that was given to us, you obtained money by forest pretense because it was a property of Senkungu.
Honorable, before my colleague Joan comes in, I want you to just decide for us. Yeah. Who is wrong between the National Forest Authority and the person who has that's Senkungu who has the leased documents? Who is wrong among the two?
Of course, National Forest Authority.
That's what we wanted. Joan, you can
Yes,
come in.
National Forest Authority.
Okay, so what for you as honorable? What do you think? Where do we see the end for this issue? What are the practical steps
now
for this issue?
The practical steps is Senkungu was leased a piece of land off the forest. The specification was to have a school. The location was bare. It was outside at the border of the forest. And there wasn't to be too much environmental degradation. No cutting down our trees or anything. Now, we don't know how it happened for NFA again to go in an agreement with the Shell company to change the ownership of the same, because under normal circumstances, they would have invited the Senkungu and agree. This part was given to you to put a school. And by that, there are regulations. When you are leased a piece of land, people you should understand this also. And we agree are going to put a certain business. They give you years. If those years elapses without that project, the landlord is at liberty to give it to another person, another investor. I think you have read about the same thing. Yes. Now, Senkungu was given a lease to have a school. It has been on for over 10 years, no school. But he's keeping the lease. And so many Ugandans are there.
Okay, Honorable, if you went to the floor,
including in the swamps, but they have done nothing there. The law is very clear. If we give you a lease, we tell you, in 2 years, please put the development.
If you went to the floor of Parliament to raise a matter of national importance on that same incident, who would you report?
I'll report National Forest Authority.
Thank you very much. Joan, Akello, if you have something.
Why it is important is because why I asked about the practical steps is because I have been told, my investigations are still going on, but I have been told that the municipal council has had proposals before to degazette that forest. I don't know whether you've heard about. You've been here. There were plans to degazette this forest, I think, almost 10 years ago, but somehow the plan flopped. Yes. So
in the beginning, I was telling you the reason we have the challenges we are having is ignorance. 2, people are crazy with money, so they want money. They don't mind about the people. They had during Muzola's time, it was the town clerk by then, the late Muzola. They thought that that forest is a waste. Therefore, we should degazette it and allow construction. NFA was going to buy a land for the forest in some place in Mukono. I was like, look here, the importance of this forest, which is in Mukono, will not benefit those of Entebbe. In the first place, you don't know the reason why this forest is here. It is protecting Entebbe against the strong winds from the lake that will destroy properties. So whenever they come, these are the wind breakers, and it's good for Entebbe. So it's not by decoration.
Joan,
so people should understand this. Now, people who wanted money for them, they look at it as a waste. I told you, it is ignorance. If they go down and read the importance of a forest, and specifically for that Kitubulu, and how it is saving Entebbe people and their properties, they will respect it and instead plant there more trees, because we need more trees. The other side of Guda, up to Sailing Club, we need more trees there, because those are the ways where those strong wind come from.
I know, Honorable, I don't want to go so deep into this matter because the same forest, the other side of it has already been cut.
Those are the issues.
The issues. But on that similar issue of environment, that is just an example. The lake has been encroached on the shores. We see constructions every day, every evening. We see people building up the Entebbe that had an image of the previous, when someone talked about it, had to be respected, has lost it out. But I want to question you. In your own follow-up assessment, opinion, comment, and what you think the regulators should be, what is wrong with the municipal council in regards to saving the environment?
It's not only municipal council Entebbe. The confusion comes.
The direct supervisors.
Look, yeah, the challenge or the confusion it comes from the Local Government Act itself. It gives specifications. Now they give you decentralization, and sometimes you don't even have powers over some of the things. If Entebbe Municipal Council had full power over each and everything, then we would blame them. Right now, as we speak, you find that the mayor has his own confused kind of power, and the town clerk. Then town clerk, they tell you town clerk.
Honorable, what do you mean by confused kind of?
The system, the NRM system, it is like that. It confuses you, and that's how Museveni wants it. When you look at the mayor and you ask, Mayor, who has the power? You and the town clerk. The chairman of the district.
Are you trying to say...
Who has the power? The cow or the chairperson? Who has the power to give tenders? The cow or the chairperson? The minister and the PS. Tell us, who has the power? They are all appointed by the president. These PS, most of them are direct ATM to the president. They talk to him directly. So nobody, you cannot check somebody who you don't even understand who is stronger than another. Tell me, tell you, my friend, you are not my boss. I was deployed here by somebody, and tomorrow I will be transferred. So you understand the confusion. Now the Entebbe Municipal Council, there is NEMA, there is NFA. Those are semi-autonomous organizations. You know, Entebbe Municipal Council has to go to NEMA and beg. And they tell you now, Entebbe Municipal Council, you are the custodian. You are protecting somebody. You are keeping a land that you don't even have the custody of the property.
Honorable Kakembo, Joan, Honorable Kakembo, are you trying to tell us that the mayor of Entebbe, who is Fabrice Rulinda, has lost the position and the control of what his job description should be?
Let me tell you, it is not Fabrice Rulinda alone.
Even in the previous,
during Kayanja's time, not only in Entebbe, you go to Wakiso, I've seen big time Chairman Matia Rwangabwanika fighting with the police. Can you imagine? Uganda police fighting the chairman of the district, who is fighting to protect the environment. That's what we are. For us, we don't know you, the chairman. We don't NEMA. NEMA has given us. Who are you, chairman? And you're telling me, chairman is the custodian of what? When NEMA can give lease to anybody without the chairman's consent, without the mayor's consent. So the mayor, I just pity them. They are just there, you know, ceremonial. They don't have powers. Because if they had powers, they would be standing in to defend the people who voted them in power. Now the mayor will tell you, I don't know, it came from NFA. NFA will tell you, we are semi-autonomous. You are not our boss. We are doing our thing. That happens to NEMA also. NEMA does it. So many people have land titles in the swamp. In Entebbe, you know it. But the mayor, his hands are tied. That's the problem.
John, you
so
got
the
anything
issue
to
is
say?
the Local Government Act. The person who started giving these specifications to different leaders confuses the system. And the what we are receiving now are the impact of the same mistake that was created in the system itself. Right from the Local Government Act, go up to the ministers. The minister has no power. The PS has more power than even the ministers. Now, who is the who? The minister will tell you, I want you to do this. The PS will say, no, the president instructed me to do another. I can even be transferred tomorrow. You are not my boss. So what are you saying? So that's the confusion.
When we talk about confusion, the role
So
of
the
an
confusion is the
MP,
intention behind the president,
the role of
and
MPs,
he knows the reason why.
The role of MPs is to make, one of them is to make laws. And the Local Government Act is one of the most amended laws. I think but in 2019 it had been amended, I think 14 times in a short period of time.
We will continue to amend it because to me I see so many loopholes. We need to manage it a bit more.
So what are the amendments you think should be made on that Local Government Act?
It is quite a very big question because we have to go
just
deep
a
now
few things,
in the local
Pick
government.
for us
Two or
a
three.
few, one or two, maybe. if
Now,
you can.
how do we manage finances in the local government? Because the local government, they were telling us it was decentralization. We are going to separate powers. We are going to divide powers, give some of the power to the local government. What are we seeing right now? President Museveni is taking back his powers now, including tax correction and,
Okay, Joan, Honorable, we have 5
is
minutes.
done in the central government now. Are you seeing that? So the central government now has no power. We used to have land board at the district, appointed by the chairman of the district. Now the minister comes in with another board. They call it what? Minizon? Something like that. Yeah. From the ministry. Now, MZ, something like that. Now, what is this? It is shifting to the central government now. So the Local Government Act is now ready for some serious amendment.
Joan
If
and
you're talking
Honorable,
about
we have 5
decentralization.
minutes to wind up the show. We will quickly wrap it with the last question. Is Honorable Member of Parliament Michael Kakembo Mbatekama, the National Unity Platform member. Allegations that you have been bought off by the ruling party, the ruling NRM party. Is that true?
It is, which language can I use?
Any.
It is bullshit to say like that. Because, our president summarized it. We shall see you by your action. I believe my action will tell. I'm not here to blow my own trumpet. I am a Noop 311, and no doubt, and a proud Noop. You understand? I was in DP, we are in opposition, but then we are educated. And if we wanted to be rich, we would be very rich by now. If NRM did not buy me when I was still poor, going to Boya to dig, it didn't buy me. And I was so desperate then that I could not even have school fees for my children. Can they buy me now when I'm a member of parliament, earning more than 30 million? Logic. You understand?
Okay.
It is politics sometimes. Those, of course, Project 2026 has started. Competitors are now planning propaganda. How should we, the man has already gone now. How do we weaken him, They come in with their propaganda. That is politics. But people of Entebbe will see me, not only Entebbe, people of Uganda will see me by my action, and then they will tell.
The last question before maybe Joan comes in. Is there anything, just single out, one thing that you would borrow a leaf from the ruling party that you think can also partly help not only you, but the people in Entebbe? One, if you picked from the ruling party, which is the National Resistance Movement.
One good thing from National Resistance Movement, I don't think it is National Resistance Movement, but from Museveni as a president. He accommodates everybody. Museveni, I don't support him, yes, but I challenge most of these young leaders. The only person who has studied Museveni and is copying a leaf from Museveni is Bobby Wine, Robert Chaguin Sentam. It has been a challenge for many political leaders in Uganda to accommodate each other for some good time, to build that historical, relationship with a colleague for 40 years. You have seen them. We were in UID, only one day, 1 year, they are fighting against each other. Now look at a man like Museveni who has managed these people right from Montale Secondary School. Even up to today, the man is leading us with his hobbies. It's a unique, it's a charisma that you never find anybody to hold on to his friends for over 40 years. And they are still friends. I give Museveni a credit on that. He has maintained that. That's the challenge to us. Look at the Maos. Look at the messages. Today you are with Mugisha Muntu. 2 years, you are away. Today you are Monobati Mao. Where are the fellow DPs with whom you used to be at the university? You IDs, where are they? Lukwago is there. Mwasambi is this side. When you look at Ndulume is the other side. They don't have that bond to keep there. No, not a sense of direction. Keeping. You accommodate me as I am for a mission. That's the deal. Accommodate a fool, accommodate a wise for the mission. The mission is to lead, isn't it? Then accommodate your kind of Tafires, the Ivan curators, and move with them for 40 years. That man is great.
Joan, you're parting short, maybe.
I just have two questions. One, going forward, the things you've seen. Entebbe is unique. It's a peninsula. We have the only international airport. We had the only COVID management, the hospital was turned into a COVID management center nationwide. What are the things that you think, and also I talked about the amendment to the Local Government Act. We have missed becoming a city in this year. I don't know whether we shall become a city, but it was supposed to become a city with Wakiso this year, next financial year, from July 2022, but we have missed it. So what are some of those things that, the people were really so hopeful until that letter came from the Minister of Local Government saying,
well, we have not missed. Of course, we had.
Maybe you just tell us about that.
Yeah, we have not missed Entebbe as a city yet. It was only postponed because of, I think, financial challenges in the ministry. Of course, have been hit by COVID, the impact of COVID on our economy. So they thought, let us postpone it. But it was already approved by the 10th Parliament. So it is still on, and we are going to follow it up. I am sure by 2025, Entebbe will have.
Honorable, my last question before I let you go. When are you going to leave the seat for another person?
Well, it has been a culture in Entebbe, and it was started by us. The 3 Ks, Kakembo, Kauma, and Kayanja. And we had agreed that we are going to serve, each of us will serve 2 terms, to groom other leaders, our youth. People have been campaigning for us. So it is upon us now to groom our successors. I am very happy that Kauma managed to do it. It was not easy. Kauma was a young man who was still very, very vibrant in politics, but he could not bite his tongue over that. 2 terms, he gave space for the young ones. So it was started by the 3 Ks, Kakembo, Kanja, and Kauma. I feel that this is the time I should groom my youth, my successor. The 2nd term, if God willing, will be enough for me. Prepare my successor, leave them, and then you go in peace.
Well, I think for time reasons, we will leave it there, but Honorable...
There's no way we can blame Museveni if all of us feel like we don't want to leave power. Politics is not a profession. Come, go up, build enough social space, if social network for yourself to survive as a leader. 10 years are enough for you. Create a young man. Let him come.
Okay.
Well,
of
course, the changes may come up. There are issues where I've seen like the Nambozes and others. They're planning to leave. There is a wave that came, and it resurrected many. And of course, those are internal dynamics in the party. They feel if you leave, it's this kind of kavuyo, we may lose something. But not me.
Okay, Honorable Member of Parliament for Entebbe Municipality, thank you very much for making your time to speak to us, to speak to the people of Entebbe who are watching us, and we don't take that for granted. We thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you so much for visiting me, and my dear Joan. And our viewers, please, and Entebbe people, Entebbe deserves better. It was the first capital city, so we need to give it the respect it deserves.
Michael Kakembo Mbwate Kamwa is the Honorable Member of Parliament representing Entebbe Municipality, speaking to us on matters Entebbe, on Entebbe Today, current affairs, matters that affect the people of Entebbe, and he has elaborately made it clear for his stand in the mission. But of course, every Saturday we will be here from 9 to 10 when we'll be tackling this. Remember to join us and follow us on whatever that we'll be doing. I want to thank the production team that is behind this. That's the Media Lab, and the producer himself, Adam Walusimbi, and the rest of your crew. We don't take this for granted. For now, we are out. Catch you next Saturday, same time, here.
What does Omutu Wawansi see as development in Entebbe?
We have the only international airport in this area.
There is no way we can underlook issues of health.
Mbuuza meeya akyegana, tawunikiraka akyegana.
Who is the problem now?
Ensonga eno ejja kuggwa.
That is politics.
Leero tetulina kyakulya n'enkya tekigenda kubaawo.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves.